The CUNY Environmental Crossroads Initiative really takes its cue from the notion that New York City is the crossroads to the world. It's a cultural crossroad. It's also a financial and economic crossroads of the world. And as a consequence of that, decisions are being made about the environment that have ramifications quite literally across the whole world. And so I would like to bring this notion of a crossroads dialogue on the environment to City University of New York. And as you know, we're going to be constructing the Advanced Science and Research Facility, CUNY and ASRC. And that's going to be a real focal point for this dialogue about these 21st century environmental challenges. And the whole notion behind that Crossroads initiative is to look across disciplinary boundaries, because we recognize that these very big ticket environmental questions like hunger alleviation and environmental sustainability is a very interdisciplinary question. For example, it involves social scientists, it involves people who are agronomists, it involves environmental chemists, it involves economists. And so we should be in a position to have a fruitful dialogue around the table. And our aim with the Crossroads Initiative is to catalyze that. What I'm very, very excited about is to move into that new building in a couple of years, where I, as an environmental scientist, will have below me in the intervening floors experts on nanotechnology, experts on photonics and imaging systems, experts who do structural biochemistry. And I would love to have a dialogue with them on how some of their technologies can be brought to bear on some of these big environmental issues. So for example, one of the first dialogues I would love to have is I'd walk down the stairs and talk to the people who are starting up the nanotechnology effort. And I would like to pose to them the challenge of trying to produce small miniaturized sensing systems that would allow us to better understand the chemistry of water systems and the quantities of water that are distributed in many parts of the developing world that are simply unmonitored. We don't have an idea of what's going on in these places because we haven't invested in the sensing systems. And so one of the things that we would certainly be trying to do is to try to have a dialogue with people who are resource experts and people who are chemistry experts and people who are policy experts who can really come together and try to understand that these questions have many different dimensions, and we can no longer look at them in very narrow perspectives. We can't just look at, let's say, the agricultural sustainability question as an agronomy question. It also is a chemistry question because we apply enormous amounts of fertilizer to our cropland. And that's a very mobile set of nutrients that we're putting onto those landscapes that ultimately gets back into the atmosphere, that goes into our river systems, and ultimately gets transported to our coastal zones with pollution signatures all along the way. And so the decisions that we make in one arena, either in terms of a disciplinary perspective, like trying to grow crops, actually reverberates through the chemistry of the earth and the hydrology of the earth and the atmosphere of the earth and the coastal zones of the earth. So these are no longer local decisions. They really do reverberate across the broader earth domain. And that's the kind of dialogue that we're looking to catalyze at the Crossroads Initiative.